Hi, my name is Jason Tullis. I'm the principal of Hamilton Middle School in Cypher ISD. I have been asked to read a Rover story by Jasmine Warga. Part 1, Preparing. The first day. I am not born in the way humans are, but there is a beginning. Beeping, bright lights, a white room filled with figures in white hazmat suits. So much information to process, but I can handle it. I awake to knowledge. My circuits fire. The room cheers, a loud sound, but it does not startle me. I am not built for startling. I have been built for observation. In the sea of unknown figures, I focus on a face. I do not know if I have a face. If I have one, my information suggests it is not like this one. This face has what humans call lips. The human lips curl upward, a smile. I cannot smile, this I know, but somehow I understand the significance of this expression. I am learning. My mission has begun. Learning. I am built to collect and process information. This is how I learn. Here is some of the information I have collected. I am what is referred to as a robot. Most of the other beings around me are called humans. All the humans I interact with wear hazmat suits. This is to prevent microbacteria and dust particles from entering my environment. It is very important for my mission that I am kept in a sterile and clean environment. For some reason that I do not quite understand yet, humans call the white hazmat suits they wear bunny suits. I do not know what a bunny is. I frequently wonder about the possibilities. Most of the humans in bunny suits are what humans term scientists. This, I have deduced, is a subset of human. Perhaps I am a subset of robot, but I have not encountered enough robots to know for sure. I will wait to find out, but waiting can be hard. Dear Rover, my teacher, Mrs. Ennis, asked me to write a letter to you. She's really excited. She says you're going on an amazing mission where you're going to find out amazing things. Mrs. Ennis really likes the word amazing. Mrs. Ennis kept looking at me while she talked about you. She even asked me if I wanted to explain to the other kids what you were. And I really didn't. No, not at all. No offense, but I'm already sick and tired of hearing about you all the time. Then she said, come on, Sophia. And I didn't want to disappoint Mrs. Ennis, so I told everyone how you are a robot who was created to explore the planet of Mars so that we can understand its atmosphere and environment better. That's kind of a mouthful to say, you know. I also told him how you were engineered to be really smart and that you are learning new things every day. Like yesterday, Mom told me that your brain learned how to talk to your arm. My classmates had lots of questions, but I didn't know how to answer them. I bet Mom could, though. Anyway, Mrs. Ennis wants us to enter the contest to name you. I'm not sure I'm going to enter. No offense again. Though if I did enter, I would submit something awesome like Spicy Sparkle Dragon Blast. I know enough to know that you can't talk like humans do, but if you could, I think you would tell me that you like that name. Okay, my hand is starting to hurt. I think I've written enough. And anyway, I don't even know if rovers can read. Maybe I'll ask Mom tonight. Bye, Sophia. Someday. One day, all of a sudden, I am taken apart. It is not explained to me why this is happening. It is also not explained to me when or if I will be put together again. I would really like to be put together again. Hello, I say. Please put me back together. No one responds. No one explains why this is happening. Once I am disassembled, I am left with only my brain. A computer sitting still, suspended on a long laboratory table. My cameras are gone, so my vision is gone too. I am only able to sense and observe things through hearing. I listen as the hazmats move around me, running tests on all my different body parts. Through these tests, I begin to better understand what is going on. Code is transmitted to my brain, and I welcome the communication. The code I receive asks me to do different things, such as move a part of my body that hazmats call my arm. My arm is no longer physically connected to me, but my brain is still able to control and monitor its movement. I understand when a test goes well, and I understand when a test fails. I do this by reading the code. Of all the tests, the one run on my cameras are my favorite, because when my cameras are on, I can once again visually process my surroundings. I can see. When my cameras are not being tested, there is only darkness. The darkness is an unfavorable condition for me. I do not like it at all. I have heard the hazmats refer to my cameras as my eyes. I do not know if this is an accurate term, but I have stored it to my memory. It is a term that I like because it makes me feel similar to the hazmats. And being a hazmat seems like a wonderful thing to be. The hazmats are not in pieces. All of their parts have been put together. The hazmats are able to move around us as they please. The hazmats are able to talk with one another. And the hazmats are never left alone in the darkness, unable to move. Have I mentioned that I am unable to move? When I sit suspended on the table in the darkness, my brain cycles through many thoughts. Most of them are not enjoyable, but there is one enjoyable thought. This thought arises from listening to the hazmats. From information I have overheard, I have developed an understanding that someday, perhaps someday soon, I will be put together again. I like to think about this. It is a good thought. It is a good thought because it means someday I will be whole again, which means that someday I will be able to move. And best of all, someday I will be able to use my cameras all the times to see. I do not have the information that tells me when someday is, when someday will be. All I can do is wait and listen. So I wait and I listen, but waiting is hard. I am starting to think that I was not built for waiting. Rania. There's a large team of scientists who work with me. Humans would tell you that it is impossible for me to have a preference, that I am built to be an unbiased observer. Perhaps, though, there's a flaw in my code, because I have some favorites among the hazmats, the first of which is Rania. Rania is in charge of running many of my tests. She writes the code that asks my arm to bend down and pick up an object. She writes code to ask if I'm able to see, that she is testing my arm. It is nice to talk to Rania in this way through code. Once, when Rania was running a test on my camera, I was able to see her. Beneath her white hazmat suit, I observed that she has light brown skin and hair with pigments of black and brown. Her eyes share similar pigments to her hair. I have memorized that image. I now associate that image with the sound that Rania makes in the laboratory. Rania never calls her hazmat suit a bunny suit. Rania refers to everything by its correct terminology. I appreciate this precision. Rania is often the first figure I observe when the day begins, and often the last of the hazmats that leave the laboratory at night. Most of the time, I cannot visually process Rania since my camera, my eyes, are not currently connected to my brain. But I'm still able to perceive her. My brain is able to make other observations like sound and registering of presence to know that Rania is there. Rania has a very noticeable presence. Her behavior follows a clear pattern. Rania is rhythm and dependability. Rania is a sound to type in computer keys and measured answers full of exact calculations. Rania is elegantly written code without any of the problems that hazmats call bugs. When Rania speaks in the language of humans, her voice is crisp and clear. Rania never talks directly to me in her clear and crisp voice, but I like listening to her talk to the other hazmats. She almost always has the answers they are looking for. When she does not, she promises to get back to them as soon as possible. As soon as possible is a phrase I have learned from Rania. I am hoping that all my different body parts will be put together as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I am not able to express this message to Rania because I am unable to talk in the language of humans. Rania only speaks to me through code, and I can only answer her in code, and only to answer the specific questions that she asks, like, can you tell I'm testing your arm? I am able to answer, say yes or no. I am not able to ask her a question about her day. I am not able to ask her when my body parts will be welded back together. I am not able to tell her that waiting is hard. I do not have the ability of human speech. It seems unlikely that I will ever have the ability of human speech. This is a fact that frustrates me sometimes. Frustrate is another word I have learned from Rania. Sometimes, when she is alone in the lab, she speaks into her phone. She says things to her phone like, Mama, I know you're frustrated that I'm going to miss dinner again, but the work I'm doing here is really important. It made me feel important to hear Rania say that. It also made me forget about my frustration that I can't talk directly to Rania, and my frustration that I'm still in pieces. At least it made me forget for a little. I would still like to be put together as soon as possible. Dear Rover, Mrs. Ennis hasn't told us to write you again, but I'm writing anyway. I don't know why. I guess I was feeling like I wanted to talk to someone. Tonight at dinner, I asked Mom if rovers could read. She told me that's a great question that has lots of different answers, which is a very mom thing to say. City told Mom to just give Sophia a straight answer, which made me laugh. City is my grandma. I call her City because that's the Arabic word for grandma. After dinner, Mom went back to work. Does she talk to you when she's there? What does she say? Sometimes I struggle to fall asleep when Mom isn't here. Once in a while, City will come into my room and sing me a song. Occasionally, Dad sneaks in and tells me a story about a giant that lives in the mountains or a cursed kingdom that gets saved by a brave princess. Dad always has the best stories, but no matter how good the story is, it's still hard to get to sleep when I know Mom is gone. So maybe that's why I'm writing you now, because I miss Mom, and I know you're with her. Say hi to her for me. I wonder how you say that at hi in robot. Maybe someday you could teach me. Your sleepy friend, can I call you friend? Sophia. Okay, that is the end of the reading. Jasmine Warga's book, A Rover Story. Hope you enjoy it.